Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? We found the problem with our forklift. The torque converter is broken. That's why it's spewing fluid everywhere. But right now we're having an issue getting the torque converter out. I have found one for it that we'll order, but we got to get this one out first, and it's just not coming out. Matt and Austin worked all morning getting it out. We got the motor out, nice little motor. But if we can get the torque converter fixed, we got a good forklift. So that's the problem with getting free or inexpensive stuff, is that something's always going to be broken on it, and that's why it was free or inexpensive. But we'll get this figured out. And, pressure wash it, clean it up, probably put some flames on it, some racing stickers. Call it good. Hey, let me tell you a little joke while I got you right here. This little fella gets off a boat in a seafaring town, looking for a job. So he walks past a bar and he sees a sign that says they need a bouncer. So he's like, I will get that job, no problem. So he goes in and talks to the owner, and the owner says, you're just a little fella. He says, we're really looking for somebody kind of tough. Oh, I'm tough. He says, in home I was chainsaw guy, cut trees down, stuff like that. You know, it's pretty tough, but I mean, it's a pretty tough crowd here. You know, got fights all the time, and you got to be able to really handle yourself. Guy says, one time I fell on chainsaw, cut my hand right off, and sewed it back on myself with needle and thread. And the owner's like, wow, that is pretty tough. He says, I guess we're going to give you the job. And he's like, all right.
What'd you think of that joke?
What'd you think of the joke?
I didn't hear it that well.
Oh.
Matt, what'd you think of the joke?
It was the best joke I heard all day.
Awesome. Yeah, I got a lot of jokes. Some of them aren't funny, and then a lot of people say, you've told me that joke 100 times before. And I'm like, well, it's funny. Well, while we're in the process of trying to get this converter out, I just saw a truck go by. I'm getting a roll-off dumpster. Like I told you in the video yesterday, we're going to start cleaning this yard up, getting rid of a lot of the crap that's out here, so I got some space outside. But he's here. I want to show you. It's pouring, so Dan can't come outside, but I do want to. It's Tennessee roll-off, and we're going to show you their phone number. And if you need a dumpster, pretty much any size, construction debris, whatever, call Joe at Tennessee roll-off. Well, there's our dumpster. Austin's looking real thrilled with the fact that there's a lot of wood out here that's going to go in the dumpster. No big deal, right? Whatever. Good. He'll do anything. I mean, within reason. But we're going to take a ride in Eddie's car here. We're just waiting for it to clear up a bit. Some blue sky coming. I mean, it's wet. It's going to get a little wet, but I got to drive the car. I got to make sure it's okay. Already took one ride in it today. Everything seemed okay. I just want to drive it 2 or 3 times before he comes to pick it up, because he lives a long way away, and I'd hate for something to happen on the way back. We'll take it for a ride. I'll scare the hell out of Dan with it a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But it should be fine. There's a lot of old pallets here and just rotted wood, and some of these old molds that he doesn't need. They're made out of wood. We're going to get rid of all the wood, and then we're going to get rid of some other stuff. All the fiberglass, he said he'd cut it up, you know, and throw it away. So we're going to do that, because I hope to have this area back here I can use for parking and so forth like that. It's going to be a lot more roomy, and it just doesn't really look good. So, you know, given the fact of what we do, you know, when somebody pulls in, it's like, what is all this? I have no idea what any of it is, but I am more than willing to throw it all out. I got friends in high places. Joe owns TennesseeRolloff.com. He was down here the other day. He's also a police officer, so when the police pulled in, I was like, but it was Joe. So I was like, So I told him I need a dumpster down here, so we're going to throw some wood in here and start cleaning things up. I believe I got Eddie's car fixed, but there's only one way to tell, and this is a really cool part of my job, is I get to drive this car now. So we're going to take Dan along, and you guys get to ride the big block 4-speed Roadrunner. So it should be fun. gets exceedingly hot in here. It goes pretty good. Eddie said it'll turn the tires over. I didn't really have much of a doubt that it would do that. But now, of course, we get to take this little test drive and make sure everything runs good, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, we'll have to wash it. But that's okay too. Seems to run pretty good. And people wonder why I like muscle cars. It's like, sure, it gets 4 miles to the gallon, whatever. So, we changed the thermostat and it had a 160 degree thermostat in it for some reason, but it's like I mentioned before, the car's been fuel injected, so it's got to run hotter than that in order for your air-fuel ratio to be correct, for it to process everything it needs to process to have the fuel injection run correctly. We got our little gauge here for the sniper that showing our air-fuel mixture is pretty much right where it wants to be. Might be just a touch fat, a little bit rich, but that's okay, more fuel. So rich is better than lean. This car is a blast to drive. It has power on demand. It's not my favorite Roadrunner in the world, but it's still a really cool car. This is what makes my job worthwhile. I get to go for a ride in a car. Not really gonna whoop on it because it's not mine. So if it were mine, Dan would be screaming like a little girl. It runs good. I'm pretty sure we fixed what we had to fix. Call and tell them, come get your car, and we'll go from there. Of course, I'll have to wash it up now. Used to be able to go to a car lot and just buy this car. And by this point in time, 1973, the prices had come up a little bit, and performance was way down. Of course, this car's been modified, so the performance is back up where it should be. But still, I mean, this car was probably, and I don't know the exact prices, but this car was probably $5 grand to go and buy it right off the dealer's lot, just the way it is. I find that to be one of the reasons why I wish I might have been born at some other point in time, because to go and buy one of these, I mean, you can't even hear yourself thinking it. Love it. It's awesome. No air conditioning, crank windows, pistol grip 4-speed, big block motor. See, it's too much fun. I would be in jail or something. I mean, I had cars like this when I was a kid, and again, those of you who know me know that most of the time I never had a driver's license because the police always took it, because I did dumb stuff like that pretty much everywhere I went. Every time I got in a car, didn't care what it was. Give me something with a little bit of power and I'm really going nuts. I'm a pretty safe driver. I had one accident when I was 15. I mean, I didn't even have a driver's license. Slammed into a tree, but that was in an Audi, so it wasn't a Roadrunner. I got more respect for these than Audi. It runs good. I mean, I think we may have hit the nail on the head. So just trying to be careful because the car gets a little bit loose on damp roads. We have damp roads and a big block. see everybody looking at you, driving a Roadrunner. They crave your acceptance. That's what it is. I know I haven't been giving you guys, a ton of content because we've been doing stuff, so getting these little jobs out of the way and getting paid. I could be going to my job doing computer programming. Really? No. Not gonna happen. This all my life, this has been the thing that thrills me the most is, I like taking them and making them nice, but taking a car that's already nice, that might have a couple of problems, and being able to solve those problems for him and give him back the car, and he's super happy. And every time he goes to a show, he's going to talk about the fact that he was having problems with his car, and he brought him down to see Jim, and Jim fixed his car. It was fair on the price, told him everything he was doing, and got his car back, hopefully in one piece.
Okay, so this is a tip to all the video editors out there. I've shot a lot of video. The only thing that has really given me a run for my money and holding the camera steady is a car like this. When he shifts, even the gimbal can't keep up with the steady cam. Mainly because my whole body is, holding the gimbal, and I'm going the speed of the car as well. It's a physics thing, but so if you see the jolty camera, that's completely out of my control. But I like it because I think it's going to add that really cool hot rod effect of the shifting to the video. But
it's really no effect. It's not an effect. The car violently throws you around when you shift it. That's just how it is. And this, you could go and buy this. Today's emphasis is on smooth ride and DVD players and electrical outlets and supreme comfort. This car, it's a comfortable car. It's a big car for its day. It's very comfortable. I could drive this car across country, no problem. And you know what? I might, if I could afford the gas. It's fun to rip around in, and I can understand why Eddie loves this car. What's not to love? We'll probably do something with the local PD so we can close down the road for a minute and do some things, things with the car. Yeah, it's fun to drive like a maniac and whatnot, but I'm 57 years old. I've learned to value my license. Like other people's front yards that I would go spinning off into, I never really cared. And see, now people do. They passed me in the turning lane in their Aveo LS. Nobody's going to pull one of them out of a field in 30 years, hit it with a hammer, and make it drive again. It's just not going to happen. When that car's done, it's done. That's it. This car, when it was done, it got redone, and now I'm driving it. And the blinkers work. Not that anybody in Mount Juliet ever uses them. It's this thing over here. You push it down, the blinky thing turns on for that side. Push it up, the blinky thing turns off for that side.
is that how you communicate which way you're turning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Well, the nice, classy cars with classy folks, they just don't need to do that.
They don't need to because the road is theirs.
It is theirs.
You are in their environment, invading their personal space.
Yes.
Have this one here that I'm working on. I also have that one. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff to that car. We're doing some wiring, a whole under-dash wiring harness for it. Sending the heat and AC box out to be rebuilt. It's got a little bit of a fuel leak in it. So that one's going to be here for a little while. And mainly it's ordering parts that's the big issue, but we'll get them. And these old cars, cars got to be in reverse in order to shut the key off. And the cool thing about the early Chryslers, and I believe they're the only ones that did it, is when it's in reverse, you have that light that says reverse. So if that light ever comes on and you're trying to shift it like I was shifting and that light comes on, don't let that clutch back out because you're in reverse and that's a bad thing. Although I used to do that with an automatic car. I'd just be driving down the road 30 miles an hour, throw it in reverse and leave these big candy cane burnouts in the road. Some people remember that. Car seems to run real good. The issue with it is that it was an intermittent problem. I've taken it for 2 rides, 15, 20 minutes, got it hot. It's now from the car was running about 155 degrees. Now it's running at 185 where it should be. So I think we've cured the problem for him. Only time will tell. I'm gonna let Eddie take the car and run it for a while and make sure everything's okay. I want to apologize to him for taking his car out and giving it a little bit of a whooping, but how do you not do that? It's just, you can't just get in that car and drive it like a normal person. That would be silly. You don't do that. We'll take more fun rides here in the near future, get some of this stuff going. Like I said, that was a quick job. Get it done, get it out of here, and we'll do it again. Get another car and go for a ride, and hopefully not wrapped around a pole or anything like that. And, I'm good. I'm highly trained. Government, that kind of stuff. I work for a bus company.